7. 7 wins is how many wins I had last season in the PPL. 11. That's how many wins I expect to get this season. Understand? Through hard work and determination, this championship will be mine. First, however, as is customary for every battle of the PPL, I shall tell you how I plan to win. So first, what I'll do... No. You know what? Screw it! Why should I tell you my strategy when you're about to lose? Yeah! Yo guys, it's slyroh. You already know that today I'm bringing you guys my week 1 battle for Season 3 of the Pokemon Premier League. Today we're taking on NecroStevo and the Eterna City Enders. I hope you guys are as hyped about the Pokemon Premier League as I am. I'm so happy for it to be back, and we're going to get to work right away. We're going to try and do something that has never been done in Pittsburgh Pyroar history, and that is to win the very first week. We've never done that. So let's try and change that around. Let's go for it. If you guys watch my draft analysis, you know how hyped I am for the team that I have, and you know how much I want to win this season. And there's nothing that is going to stop us. Now, before we get to the battle, a couple things. My voice is, I'm just getting over being sick. This is actually the best I've sounded in probably about a week. Yeah, so if my voice does any sort of cracking, any sort of I have to clear my throat or whatever, that's why. But I wanted to bring this upload on the day that it's supposed to be uploaded, which is every Saturday, because I'm just committed to the PPL and I'm committed to you guys that much that I just wanted to get this out. So, yes, I'm doing this while my voice is like that. So, apologies if you don't like that. My voice should be good by the time next week rolls around. Let's hope. Also, links to my opponent, NecroStevo, will be in the description. Also, PPL links will be in the description too. PPL links they mean something this season, because there are uploads, there are already draft analysis videos up, there are power rankings up, and for both Division 1 and Division 2, there's going to be recaps and power rankings every single week, as well as I believe there's going to be transfer videos, since we have transfers every 2 weeks. Either way, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on the Pokemon Premier League channel, so you guys should definitely be checking that out this season, especially if you want a way to centralize everything and just follow the entire league. Of course, I'll be updating you on where we are in the standings and all that good stuff every single week. Also, this season I am going to be testing out doing a little bit of post-com, but I'm going to be doing I'm going to be doing a post-com of a live recording of the battle, because I feel like live-com there's a lot of awkward silence. Post-com, it goes so fast that sometimes when you want to stop and explain your plays, you don't always have enough time. So, I'm gonna try and do this. I live recorded it. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. Pause here and there when I feel like I need to explain. But I shouldn't have to pause too much because of the fact that we do this. If you like this format, let me know. If you don't, let me know also, and I might just go to straight post-com. So, either way, if you guys want to know what I'm bringing to this match, there's a team analysis video in the description that was uploaded earlier today. You can go check that out. If you want a quick rundown of my team, it was a offensive Muscle Band Arcanine, a Wise Glasses Hydreigon, Assault Vest Natural Cure Roserade, physically defensive Hitmontop with some offense investment. Same thing with the Bronzong. Bronzong was specially defensive with some offense investment, and Weavile, which is kind of standard Life Orb-ish Weavile. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this battle finally, and yeah, let's hope to get the win. Let's hope to get the win. So I am going to play the battle. Anyway, so Necro's team, he decided to bring Scizor, Chandelure, Clefable, Mega Abomasnow, Pangoro, and Xatu. Xatu, actually, I was really surprised about. I really did not think about him bringing that, but then I thought of something. I was like, wait a minute. This is perfect. I can lead off with Bronzong. Bronzong, if you guys watch the team analysis video, you'll know that it has Payback. And I thought he might lead with Xatu to try and prevent my rocks from getting up. Then I can go for Payback, and bam, we might have a dead Xatu right off the bat. And if he doesn't lead with Xatu, I have a good matchup against a lot of other stuff that I could probably just get rocks up. So, here we go. Also, quick thing. I know I said I wasn't going to pause very much. He actually leads with his Pangoro. So, bad start in 1. Right before the battle, I actually noticed. Me and Necro, got into where we challenged each other, we accepted it, and then it was ready to go, and then he picked the where's his battle box or party. I looked at battle box and I looked, and not all of my Pokemon had an item. One Pokemon was missing an item, it was Hitmontop, and it was its leftovers. So we exited it. We exited that battle and put the leftovers on the Hitmontop, and then we got into this battle. However, honestly, the battle probably would have turned out better if I just had gone on with the forgotten item, because this happens. So obviously Pangoro is not a good lead for me. My switch in is Hitmontop, and he goes for the knockoff, getting the increased damage that because the item was there, and he also got a crit. So turn 1 of Season 3 of the PPL is not necessarily going my way, but either way, so yeah, we would have been better if we just didn't put the leftovers on, but oh well, at least I did end up bringing the team that I said I was going to bring. It would have been funny if no item would have actually worked out, but it didn't. Now, I knew he wasn't going to stay in here, so I just go for the Toxic. And I was like, oh, Toxic, I just Toxic the Clefable, that's pretty useless. But wait a minute, it just takes Toxic damage, and I'm like, okay, this is Unaware Clefable for the Mega Altaria. Mega Altaria putting in work even despite the fact that it's not here. So very happy about that. But I go ahead and switch into Bronzong because that's my switch in, and he Thunder Waves my 0-speed IVs Bronzong, so I don't really care about that as long as Parahacks don't come back to bite me, which that's not going to happen, right? No, not at all. So either way, he switches out as I believe I take this opportunity. No, I go for the Heavy Slam thinking he was going to bring in Xatu. It does a lot. Now, right here, we have it. This is the matchup I wanted. He can attack me. I can go for payback. This is a dead Xatu. Then I get Rocks up. We're all good to go. Everything's super bueno right here. Right? That should be how it goes. But he decides to go for Heat Wave. I go for the payback. Paralyze. There's the Parahacks that I was hoping wouldn't come into play. That would have been a dead Xatu. And unfortunately, we were unable to get it off. We are going to be able to get it off this time, though. This time, Necro is actually going to decide to go for a U-turn. I go for payback, but unfortunately U-turn doesn't do that much damage, and he also U-turns into this. So, it does like -5 damage, basically. So, of course, I switch out into the only switch in I have, which is the Hitmontop, which is fine because he goes for knockoff again. We don't have an item to knock off, and that does like no damage, and there's no crit that time, so that's also great. This time I think I decide to go for damage, even though it's pretty obvious he's going to switch out. I still went for low kick, and it didn't do that much, but I was like, you know what, Sucker Punch might be able to take this thing out depending on it. So I got a little risky, and I ended up actually going for the Sucker Punch here. It doesn't take him out, but thankfully he only goes for U-turn. Hitmontop is still alive. I can still switch in to Pangoro again. At this point, as long as I have a switch into Pangoro, even if Hitmontop doesn't end up doing anything else, as long as it just keeps getting Intimidates off, keeps forcing him around to his other mons, I'm good. Because Pangoro is a huge threat right now. Plus, if he takes out Hitmontop, then I can bring in one of my offensive threats to really threaten him out. Yeah, my voice is getting really bad here. I know this isn't going to help too much, but I am going to take a little bit of a drink here. He brings in his Scizor, and yeah, I'm just going to kind of lower my voice now. Maybe that'll help. But he brings in his Scizor, and like I said in the team analysis, I have a great Scizor switch in, and that is Arcanine. So obviously I went into Hipster Entei the Arcanine right away, as he goes for knockoff, knocking off the leftovers, or I'm sorry, knocking off the Muscle Band. Did more than I'm used to. It did more damage than I'm used to Arcanine taking, because I'm actually running offensive Arcanine, not defensive like I usually do. So even after the Intimidate, wasn't necessarily the best. However, this turn I go for a Morning Sun to heal back because I didn't know if he was going to switch into Chandelure. I didn't know if he was going to predict the Flare Blitz or things like that. I think this turn I go for Flare Blitz, and I get a pretty big hit off on the Clefable. Because he did end up bringing that Chandelure, I couldn't freely spam Flare Blitz. However, if he did switch into Chandelure, Chandelure couldn't 2-hit KO me, and I have Crunch on Arcanine, so I would be fine. But he goes for a Wish, and now here, I was just like, well, he's going to let this thing die. Does he have Protect? Is he going to switch into Chandelure now? There's so many things that could be going on. So what ends up happening is he does reveal the Protect as I just go for Flare Blitz again. Now, seeing as I'm just spamming Flare Blitz, he's thinking that I might go for it again, so I believe I'm just like, alright, you know what? This would be the perfect time for him to bring in Chandelure to get the Flash Fire, you know, and then I would, you know, be giving it to him with my Flare Blitz. However, I have the Crunch, and I actually nail this prediction. He switches in Chandelure, I go for the Crunch, and Chandelure almost dies. So, that wasn't a roll or anything. I think I got a pretty decent roll, although it did reveal leftovers, which was interesting. And at this point I was like, oh, I outspeed this thing, there's no issues. I can just go for another Crunch. He either lets this thing die or he brings in something else. And I believe he does actually let this thing go down, because I outspeed it with a lot of my stuff. I brought a very offensive team. I don't know what kind of Chandelure set this was. I'd be very interested to know. I definitely suggest that you guys go over to Necro's channel and watch his team analysis battle, things like that, because there's a lot of these sets that I didn't ever really, fully find out what their intended purpose was. But Arcanine gets the first kill of the season for the Pittsburgh Pyroar. That's super fitting, honestly. Oh, my voice is getting so much worse. I'm not going to be able to talk for the rest of the day. But he brings in the Pangoro, and I was like, okay, well, we already know what the deal is here. I tried calcing. I was just like, maybe he'll go to something. No. I'm going to go with him on top. He's going to go for a knockoff, blah, 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 blah. But wait a minute. He went for a parting shot. Okay, maybe he was predicting me to do something else, but no, Hitmontop has been my switch pretty consistently. So I switched it back in. He didn't do any damage, and he actually brings in the Xatu. Now, I figured that he was going to roost, so unfortunately I couldn't just Sucker Punch him. He's already seen the Sucker Punch. It didn't work out. Or, I mean, it got him down to this much damage, but it didn't kill him, so he's not going to do that. He's obviously going to roost. So I was just like, okay, well, what can I switch into that will then be able to do a lot of damage to Xatu, or anything that he could switch in? Ding, 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 the answer is Hydreigon. Hydreigon does a lot of damage, and I calced it, and a Dark Pulse has a very, very good chance to kill. Unless this was like a specially defensive Xatu. Actually, I think even if it was specially defensive, I think this has a decent chance to kill. So, and he doesn't have like a lot of great switches into Dark Pulse. Clefable is at low health. I mean, if he wants to switch into Scizor, he's risking like flamethrowers and things like that. So, he doesn't really have a switch in here. So I actually go for the Dark Pulse as he decides to stay in, and it does take out the Xatu. So now Hydreigon has gotten a kill. So he then brings back in the Pangoro. We're up 6-4, but I know that I can't keep everything alive for much longer because Hitmontop is about to die. But the Intimidate is, worth it. He goes for the Drain Punch. He takes me out perfectly fine. Now I get to go into another offensive threat of mine after kind of looking around, being like, well, is there anything specific, blah, blah, blah. I have a Fairy-type move on a Rose Raid, a mon that outspeeds this thing. Also, I probably should have mentioned that I definitely know that this is Choice Banded by now, off of the damage that he did first turn. Why didn't I mention that? It's been like a week since I had this battle. I know I should have probably watched it again since, but I didn't. So, apologies for that. But I do decide to go for the Dazzling Gleam because I could not risk him staying in and getting off a hit. But after the poison damage and the Dazzling Gleam and all that good stuff, nice and text on the screen there, I don't even know what that was. But I decided that I can just go for any sort of attack move. I was calcing just to see. Thought he might be cheeky, switch in. Hidden Power Fire actually kills this Clefable. If he would have tried to been cheeky and switch in the Scizor, I would have caught it on the switch, and we would have gotten huge damage. But now he goes into a Mega Abomasnow, and the Hidden Power Fire does not kill this. If I had Technician, it might, but it doesn't. He also threatens me out just because of Ice Shard. I'm not super familiar with what Mega Abomasnow does. I really don't. The options that I saw kind of looking at the calc that it brought up were things like Blizzard, or things like Earthquake, or things like Ice Shard, and I was just like, I don't entirely know what he's going to do. So I actually predicted something like Blizzard, or just some sort of ice move, and because of that, I believe I actually make the switch to Arcanine. I know that he could go for Earthquake, but I didn't think he was going to. And again, I don't know all the moves that this Mega Abomasnow had. I actually took the timer really low, and before deciding to make the switch, but I did make the switch into Arcanine. So he makes up all fancy, and he does go for the Blizzard. That does a decent amount for not being effective. But I know that, you know, Ice Shard won't take me out, obviously. And he doesn't have a switch into Flare Blitz. He has Mega Abomasnow, he has Scizor, and he has Pangoro. And I go for the Flare Blitz, and yeah, that's a lot of damage done to Pangoro. Now I decide to do kind of like a double down. I live with the Hail, I live on 7 HP. I can get off another Flare Blitz because he still doesn't have a switch in. Pangoro doesn't get priority. From what I could tell, I looked up the moveset, and from what I saw, it did not get priority. So I get a free kill, and I killed the biggest offensive threat. So I took down the Pangoro as Arcanine goes down with its second kill. Definitely worth it. So now he's just down to 2 mons that are super weak to fire. I have a Roserade that has Hidden Power Fire. I have a Hydreigon that has Flamethrower. Things are looking really good right now. So I decide to go into Hydreigon, go for Flamethrower. He can't switch out into it, so he just goes for Ice Shard. And we go for the Flamethrower, we take him out. And now I actually looked at my team. Life Orb, Bullet Punch, Scizor actually can do damage to a lot of my team. It takes out the Hydreigon. It takes out something else that was still alive. I don't remember. I will remember the Weavile. It takes out the Weavile. It takes out... it doesn't take out Bronzong, but if you had like Knockoff or things like that, or like U-Turn, or not U-Turn, Knockoff I think was the main one. There was like another move that did like almost half to Bronzong, so I could have only taken 1 hit and I didn't have any moves to do damage to it back. The only thing I could rely on is Roserade. So Hydreigon goes down here. If he gets a crit here, he's basically going to sweep up my whole team. So I go into Roserade, I'm at full health, I calculate max roll is like 90%, we live on 16 HP, we get off the Hidden Power Fire, and we win 3-0 against NecroStevo. So the Pittsburgh Pyroar are already looking good. So, Pittsburgh Pyroar are already looking good because we started off the season with a victory, something that we've never done before. And it's a 3-0 victory, so it's not that bad, and should start us out in a pretty decent place in the standings, I'm hoping. You know, it's going to take a couple matches to really determine like where we're at, but usually I'm used to kind of starting at the bottom and then, you know, working my way up, but we're going to be starting the season, you know, pretty high up, and I'm going to do my best to stay there. So let me know your thoughts on the match. Leave your comments, all that good stuff. Make sure you go check out Necroside next week, guys. We are taking on the one and only Shroom Raver, a bit of a rival of ours in this league. Before my voice dies completely, I'm really excited for that match. I'm very terrified for that match. I'm sure he's gonna find another way to crit me, or hacks me out in some way, shape, or form. But we'll deal with that then. Let's just celebrate our victory now, and I will see you guys next week. So, thanks for watching, guys. Until the next time, stay slime.